All right, so now you're in Vermont, and you've taken a full turn into electoral politics. You were running for Congress in Vermont, and I just want to show a quick clip of your debate that you had with the current rep. There's a couple moments where I want to show you breaking their minds, basically. All right, let's roll that clip of the budget.
Christopher Helali, could you tell us what your approach to the budget would be on behalf of Vermonters?
I think first and foremost, on behalf of Vermonters and the entire working class all over the country, we must cut the military budget by at least 50%. It is unsustainable to have over 1,000 foreign military bases while Russia has less than 30 and China has less than 10. That's insane. Billions of dollars are wasted every year to support a bloated empire, to support a bloated military industrial complex that wreaks havoc and bombs and launches drones and does covert actions and coups d'etats and regime change around the world. What have we gained from 20 years of this quote unquote war on terror? Today, the Taliban is stronger than in 2001. That's a failure of both political parties and the US empire. It's a failure. We've lost all the wars that we fought in. Iraq is a catastrophe. Libya is a disaster. They're selling slaves there. Syria is also a disaster. Everywhere we've gone, we've wreaked destruction and nothing has been gained. Nothing. So the first thing to do is to cut the military, retract all troops from abroad, bring them home, and put all that money, all the trillions of dollars we've spent on war and destruction and empire back into building infrastructure in this country, providing free healthcare, free education, childcare. If you really believe in family values and are pro-life and are committed to the people and the working class, then you have to be against the wars of empire. You have to be against all the violence that we wreak all over the world.
Thank you.
So what I love about that clip is you flip it. You flip the script and use Republican logic because, I mean, this. If you really are pro-life, if you really do believe in family values, then really show up. And I think what's really interesting about your story, and I'm not sure everybody who is watching that debate really knows, is you do deeply understand these issues because you've been on the front lines. You were in the military. This isn't like you're coming from a place of idealism and theory. You've literally practiced it and witnessed it up close. Do you think that your opponents are? How are they responding? Like on that debate stage, how do they respond to you?
For me personally, in the moment, there was really no response. But afterwards, when people saw the clips and people emailed me from all over Vermont and called, and it was very positive reception. Even from people who voted for Trump in 2016, they said it would be the first time they're voting for a communist.
Whoa, interesting.
Yeah. So that's why
that's like a line right there.
I know.
So, clearly they're scared of communism. So let's talk about a little bit about Vermont. So you've got how many congressional districts?
Only one. It's at large.
Oh. So this is Bernie Sanders' former congressional district.
Correct.
Who is the current representative?
Peter Welch.
Tell us about him.
So he's a Democrat. He lives here in Norwich, just 2 towns over from me. And he's progressive on a lot of issues. So nobody can say that he's not progressive on a lot of issues. And he has fought hard for a lot of the things that we care about, but he doesn't go far enough. He's still a part of the Democratic machine, and he's still involved with a lot of the machinations behind the Russiagate and now the anti-China hysteria and a lot of this stuff that I find to be reprehensible. It's part of the imperial ambition, when everybody's standing up clapping for Guaido. I mean, this is unacceptable, I think, for the United States, especially for the left to promote kind of people. I mean, I think Bernie Sanders was one of the only people to sit down or things like that, if I remember correctly. But
sit down, in Congress.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So part of the whole thing is that, Peter, I want to bring the conversation left. The conversation in the United States keeps going to the right.
Yes,
we need
thank
to bring
you.
the conversation to the left. So it's not that I believe, as someone who, is a Marxist-Leninist and has read Lenin. Lenin says we use electoralism, we use bourgeois political system for what? To raise awareness and to raise class consciousness. So people, for example, all the free media I've gotten now, all the ability to say what I believe and what we believe, it's gone out there. So people have said, wow, yeah, that's a good point. I never heard about that. So we're trying to use the system against itself, ultimately.
So your election's on, it's in 27 days. So you're in the middle of campaign cycle.
I am.
What inspired you to run for Congress?
I mean, really, the pandemic just laid bare the brutality and barbarity of the system. So I said, why not? Why not? I have no sort of megalomania or the ideas that I'm going to win, sort of romantic dreams and aspirations. I know I'm going to lose. I'm polling at 1%, so that's wonderful. I mean, this is a person who's going to be on the ballot. I'm already on the ballot. I voted already. Communist, like the word communist is on the ballot.
I mean, it's Vermont, so come on, like it's not that much of a stretch.
It is Vermont. It is Vermont. Although living in rural Vermont has a right-wing history.
Yeah.
It was a Republican state until the 70s, 80s. And of course, it had a strong Ku Klux Klan presence. So yeah, actually, I have the book right here, Fiery Crosses in the Green Mountains.
It's the history of it.
It's a history of, I mean, like if you look at some of this stuff, I mean, you're surprised that like this was Vermont, not the South. In Vermont. Wow. Yeah. So, when you think about this stuff, you think, oh, Vermont's very progressive and things. It does have a very strong right-wing tendency. So living in a rural area, being a farmer now on our family farm, I decided that now was the time to speak about working class issues that could hopefully bridge a lot of those divides. And we've had a very positive reception.
Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.